Howdy. Today is August 15th, and I'm in Falmouth, Massachusetts. Yesterday, I made a trip to the vineyard. Which is approximately 4 miles away. And I rode on the ferry and I dowsed the whole way. And I confirmed the existence of a solar line that crosses from Nobsco Point, which is right there, to Vineyard Haven, Edgartown, and South Beach, Katama, on the far side of the island. And what's really bizarre about this spot is in Katama is I have felt for my whole life, I felt this compulsion to go there every time I'm in, I go to the vineyard. And, there are some years I haven't made it to the vineyard at all, but every time I do make it over there, I've got to go to this spot. And it's just past where the roads end, and you can actually drive on the beach there. But this spot is between where the road that you drive on to the beach and the pavement ends. And there's this stretch where I've just felt compelled to go and sit there and then go for a dip. And it turns out, yesterday I took my dowsing rods and expecting to find this solar line, hoping to find this solar line that goes through Nobsco Point and comes from the Royal Wampanoag Cemetery in Mattapoisett, or Lakeview, Massachusetts, where something like 8 different lines cross. So I'm sitting there. I've been compelled to go there and sit, and I'm measuring. I douse this area, and it turns out that where I've been going there to sit and feel compelled to sit is actually a node. And there's not just that solar line that I was looking for. There is another one that's equally as big and powerful. And there's a smaller solar line that's only about 200 paces wide. These solar lines that I'm talking about are about 300 paces wide. There's another one that's 200 paces wide, and then there's actually a solar line that crosses there too. I mean, an earth-generated line that crosses there too. That's much smaller, and it's literally like if you walk into the surf, you're into the node. And what a wonderful surprise and delight, and brings it back down to, I have these memories of my family driving our car there. And I must have been probably 3 or 4 years old. And I somehow remember our car getting stuck and somebody telling us that we needed to take the air out of our tires, and us being unstuck and being able to drive out there. And so this place has kind of brought me this whole journey, this whole survey of Cape Cod and the islands, essentially bringing back the information that I've been studying and working with the past couple of years all over the country. studying the subtle energy lines, the subtle energy field of the planet, and applying, seeing how it applies to the place I grew up and have called home. It's pretty obvious that for the past for my whole life, I've been somewhat directed to these places where these subtle energy lines are prominent. And that speaks to how we all are, somehow spiritually guided and directed. So the other thing I wanted to address is that, it seems like every time I publish or post any information about the subtle energy system of the planet, especially increasingly as the expansion, my research has revealed that the field is expanding. The main question I get is, what does it mean? What does it mean, David? And that's kind of stumped me. Because to me, the answer is nonverbal. The answer is obvious, in the sense that, I'm being a witness to something pretty friggin' amazing, that to give you an idea, this expansion that I've been documenting over the past 3 years, this subtle energy system of the planet hasn't changed for centuries, millennia, and in the past 3 years, it's done this expansion, and it's not done. It's still, just in the past, 3 months, 4 months, since March, it's gone from the Emperor Dragon lines have gone from, several hundred paces wide to now 92 miles wide, and that expansion of the Emperor Dragon lines has made has expanded the solar lines as well. So those lines I looked at yesterday, the largest they would have been up until 2019 is 30 paces wide. Now they're 300 paces wide. Who knows how big they're going to get, but having a front row seat to this transition feels pretty amazing. But that said, what does it mean? What does this whole thing mean? And the answer that's come to me over the past couple of days through my various meditations on the question, is that the answer depends on the level of empathy each one of us has chosen and is choosing for this incarnation. The more empathic you are, the bigger the deal this is gonna make in your life on a conscious level. On the unconscious level, who knows? I mean, 99% of the population has no idea that this is going on, and we see the results in the news. There is an acceleration on every front. And, politically, economically, we're speeding ahead towards something, and we don't know what it is. Um, as a person who 20 years ago, I wouldn't have considered myself empathic. But I now recognize that everybody is empathic. It's a nature of being a human being. And over the past year or so, having embraced that, the implications of being empathic, given what I've been through with regards to the healing crises that I've been through in the past 3 years, that just happened to coincide with the expansion. Given what I've been experiencing as far as embracing the rise of my own empathic abilities, it's obvious to me that we as a species are destined for even more than what I'm experiencing right now. That our consciousness is being affected whether we're conscious of it or not, and will continue to be so. There's an acceleration going on, and it's not just a physical acceleration, it's a spiritual acceleration. And I don't think anybody can deny that, with a straight face. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to share. So thanks for listening. Blessings and light.